Hey friends, today we're going to have a longer than usual video because I wanted to come back to sharing videos with you with some new material of everything that I have been doing in the last couple of years. And I wanted to show you some of the books that I have found, and some are older, some are I acquired more recently, but these are the ones like if you are into watercolor and you like this type of art and more like whimsical floral kind of things, then these ones may be something you would like to check out in your either local library or order it on Amazon. So I'm probably going to start with ones that I had shown before in videos a couple of years ago. And some of these are, I already tore them apart. But this is a cloth. This is a brand for, I believe it's mostly for young people or teenagers, children. By the way, by the layout, I can pretty much tell that that's the market or the target market. But it's pretty good, providing information, and then it has this art in the back for you to color through with watercolor, to use your watercolors in them. So this one I didn't touch a lot, but I do have some of this one that I have completed. Let me just pull them out and share those with you. I'm sorry, I have a little bit of a mess here. It's been a while. Okay, so this is one. So as you can see, the paintings, the lines are very thick. So I will say, I would recommend this for either younger people or beginners, children. It's pretty fun, and the paper quality is not too bad, as you can see. Some of these I used watercolor pencils. This is one. This one I used actual watercolor paints, and this one was pencil. I'm just going by memory here. I did this a couple of years ago. This one was watercolor paint. So these two books by Klotz, I got them on Amazon. I honestly haven't checked if they're still available, but if you find them and you have someone in your family, a kid or a teenager that likes watercolor, they might enjoy these. As you can see, I did quite a few, and still there's a lot more work to do in here. So I can do a quick flip through. There's an index of the things that you get, the projects that you get, and there is instructions at the beginning, color theory, and then some of the arts will be showcased in the front. But these, like, I don't usually follow the projects as they are pictured or as per the instructions. I like going with my own palette, and I will pick the colors that make me happy. But everybody's different. And as you can see, this one I haven't finished. This one is with pencil watercolor, so I haven't added the water yet. So this is pending to be completed. And this other one, really bright colors in here. So if you just want to relax, I use watercoloring for relaxing, meditating, spraying. If you're not a good, if your forte is not drawing, this is great because you already have the drawings. All you have to do is add your paint and water and you're good to go. Now, I already showed or shared a video of this watercolor with me in the forest, and this I already completed. If you want to see all the projects, I recently uploaded a video on this one. 100% recommended book for beginners and for anybody looking to spend some time watercoloring, relaxing with it. Awesome book. Now, this one, Flowers, the watercolor art pad, is also another workbook. This one, what I will say, is a little bit more advanced. The florals are not that simple, as you can see. And then in the back, you will have the project in watercolor paper. So out of this book, I believe I have completed a few of these. I didn't use this, so let me see if I have it here to share. Otherwise, I will move to the next one. Yeah, so this is one from this book that I did, but I haven't done much on it. But again, beautiful projects. If you're looking for watercolor workbooks, these are my favorites by far that I have found and worked with. This one is not watercolor, it's more like gouache. However, it's also a workbook, and it's it has the projects in the back, and the paper, even though it's not watercolor paper, it can take some water. So I will show you. Let me do a quick flip through on this. So this is Gorgeous Gouache, the absolute beginner's guide to opaque watercolor painting. So gouache, if you don't know, it's like the way I can better describe it is if acrylic paint and watercolor had a baby, then gouache is born. More opaque, less translucent, less transparent, brighter colors sometimes, and there's things that you can do with gouache that you wouldn't be able to do with watercolor, such as adding a color on top of a project once it's dry to create different layers without moving or disrupting the painting at the bottom. So this one is quite a big book. It's let's see how many pages without the project. It's over 200 pages. So quick flip through here. I'm new to this author, Vidi Sashit, but her art is really, really amazing. So she starts with the basics, the tools, the paints, the techniques. As usual, you have your color theory, color wheel. I can speak today, or ever. Mixing colors. This is one of my favorite parts of this book because I am really bad at mixing colors or getting a palette, deciding on a palette for a specific project. So here you have bright vibes, vintage shades, soft pastels, then full range of colors for you to build your own palette. These are here some of the projects. You can see you have the finished project here, and then there's a step-by-step. It's pretty hard to show because it's very light. The lines are very, very thin and light, but it takes you step by step. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are many steps to each project. She goes in depth with everything, with all the details. And then you have this page at a glance that shows you all the steps. Then there's color mixing recipes. Then there's another project. So you will have a really fun time doing this. Flower abundance. Night garden. This is amazing. This is so pretty. I love the lining, the black lining detail. And if you're looking for gouache, there's so many out there. This is the one I have. I have bought this twice already. It's the Caran d'Ache. This one I got it pretty recently. It's got good quality, bright, and I always get the same results, so I like that one. So look at all these, really pretty. And then once we finish going through the projects individually, trying to get to the back here, then you have the actual pages in the back that you can detach to do your paintings. So let's go. That's the first one I detached, I believe, if I remember correctly. It gives you some space here for you to free paint with some prompts. Make your practices. And then here are some of the paintings that you saw, or the drawings that you saw at the beginning, for you to paint them on your own. You can follow the instructions, or you can do what I do and just follow, just do you. Just follow your palette, whatever colors make your soul happy. Remember, not because it's the sky, it has to be blue, it can be purple. Art is never wrong. So that's that one. And then let me move to this one, which is not a workbook in the sense that it doesn't come with watercolor paper in it, but it is a step-by-step. And this one is really good because it's simple. It's only 4 steps per project, and the end result is pretty amazing, actually. So it does have the tools, materials, techniques, fruits and vegetables, food and drinks, and all of these that you're seeing here, you can find in the following pages with step-by-step. So you can find what you're trying to draw here. Let's say that you want to paint an eggplant. It's page 50. You go to page 50 here. Let's find the eggplant. Right here. Those are your steps. So all the projects included are here. So when you're looking for, let's see that you're not really, your creativity is not flowing, you don't know what to color, what to paint, then you can come to this one, this book, and find some inspiration, and then just dive in and it's pretty simple. And then the instructions are right there on the page, very simple as well. It tells you the names of the colors that the author used to achieve that particular shade. This is definitely one of my favorites. When you want to journal and you're just not sure what to draw, this is perfect. It's quick, it's easy, and there's a lot to choose from. Here's the credit and the index in the back. I really recommend this one when you're looking for inspiration. Now let me move to another workbook. This one has really high reviews on Amazon. I got this one recently, so I haven't worked on it a lot. And sometimes I buy the books and I work on separate watercolor. I don't necessarily work in the book because sometimes it's kind of hard to keep them flat. So I just try to copy the project into my own watercolor paper. And sometimes I just come in. This one I did, I think I was sitting in bed or something like that. Pretty messy, a couple of these. And then here I added some of a biblical verse. This one got really messy, as you can see, but nevertheless, the projects contained in the book are really good. I don't necessarily like the author's way of doing it. I do not like the style at all. My style is more bold and bright, so I will not be following these. I might be following the palette because I think it's really pretty, but I will not be following the techniques here. I'm just going to free paint on these. So it has quite a few. This is really pretty. This is the one that I want to do next. The drawings are really pretty, and it has quite a few. Beautiful. Let me show you another one that I really like. This one I really like. I like what the author did on this one, so I might be following her style on that one. So this one is by Sarah Simon, Watercolor Workbook, 30-minute beginner botanical projects on premium watercolor paper. Really good book. If you like Dana Fox color watercolor with me, this one will be one of your favorites as well. Going into another, let's see what else I have here. That is this one is from a series, Art for Joy's Sake, and it's by author Christy Rice. By her, I have these two, and I also have her watercolor palette, which is really good quality. I was impressed with that. So let me continue with this little pile here. This book I found, I wasn't looking for anything, but I was in Barnes & Noble with my daughters. And if I go there, they go look into the things that interest them. And I obviously will go to watercolor books and things like that. And this one is pretty good, pretty cool. It has these vellum sheets that you can trace on your watercolor paper. They are quite several options here. 32. And then she claims that they can be painted in 30 minutes. I believe I did one of these. I'll try to find it now to share. but it is, yes, I definitely painted one of these. Let's find it. So I did this one. Mine is a little bit messy, especially on the whites. I didn't have wash at the moment, so I used one of these. It didn't work out, one of the gel pens, but that's my version of that one. And then for all those patterns and the vellum, then you'll have the step-by-step in the following pages. So if you're a beginner, intermediate, you just like watercoloring, this is a beautiful book. And I did not find this. I'm always looking to see new releases on Amazon. I did not see this one coming on Amazon. So the name is Ready to Paint in 30 Minutes, Flowers and Watercolors by Anne Mortimer. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. Really good book. All right. I don't know if I'm going from favorite to least favorite. I don't even know. I like them. All these books that I am showing in this video I treasure. I really like them. I like flipping through them. I like using them for inspiration. I like using them for projects. And this one, it's another one that I found by accident. Amazon didn't have it, but it was listed on Amazon with one seller. And this is by, she's very well known, Danielle Donaldson, but for some reason this book is not as readily available as her other books. Maybe it was a limited edition or a special release, not sure. But this is a workbook in the sense that it has two parts. It has one book and it has these insert watercolor pads, which very high quality watercolor. I'm not sure if it's 130. It should be. Feels like it. Feels really, really high quality paper. And then the book, if you know this author, you will see that the paintings are pretty much her style. If you don't know her, I suggest you get some of her books. She's amazing. It's kind of an abstract. It's not the regular watercolor art that you that is common out there, right? She does a lot of say collage. She gets inspiration from fabrics and wrapping papers, and she mixes them, as you can see, and then she builds a palette from that. And it's really amazing what she accomplishes with it. And then there is this one is really good also because it shows you about composition and placing the picture and in the paper. There you go. So here you can tell by looking at this one here, this couch. It's like a patchwork, right? Patchwork of whatever she got inspired, whether was it paper, was it a fabric that she saw or something. I will say that if you are good at drawing, you will like this. If you're not that good, you will need a little bit of practice achieving the drawings. But it's not, you don't have to be a professional. You can pretty much follow. So her dolls are amazing. It's very unique. It's her style, and it's undeniable, and it's not something that you see anywhere else. This is really good. I like that it's small in size. It has this elastic band to hold things together once you start using the paper. I haven't started this one as of yet. I will one of these days. Then let me continue with this one. This one is, again, all these books are my favorite, but this one is really special to me because it's very free-flowing. It's very allowing, and you don't feel pressure like you may feel pressure with other authors that you have to follow steps and that there is a structure. This is very unstructured, but it's really, really pretty. And it's well, the name, Painting Happiness, Creativity with Watercolors. I think that says it all. And it's a beautiful book. For some people, it might look like a children's. It's not at all. It's not a children's art book, but it is whimsical. And if you are into children's book drawing, this might be something that you will want to see. But I just want to show you some of the drawings. So I will say from children to 99. So it's very free. Like you just do a blob of watercolor paint, and out of that blob you start adding features, and you have the most amazing art. So when you're uninspired, you don't know what to paint, just put some paint on watercolor paper, and then just let your imagination flow and create. And this is what I get from this book. I take this book to the park with my watercolor pad, and I just look at it, flip through it, and then I just start throwing watercolor paint, and then I start adding stuff, and it's so enjoyable. It's really pretty. So if you're not looking for a step-by-step project, but you're looking to paint and feel free and be happy, this is the one to get. All right, now another, let me see, is this a workbook? Well, this is more like, this one. So if you enjoyed this one, you will enjoy this one as well, because it's simple steps. The author claims that in 15 minutes you will have a piece completed, and I can say that that is accurate. Again, supplies. Most of these books start the same with some techniques and color theory and basic instructions. I don't see a lot of supplies in this one. Well, minimal requests, brushes, and then we jump right in, step by step. And as you can see, they are very simple. She provides Anna Kolyadich. She provides you with a palette and with a step-by-step. Beautiful landscapes. This is unbelievably beautiful. And as you can see, they are not complicated, in the sense that beginners can just grab one of these projects and do it. I want to show you the whole book, but I don't want to make the video so long. There's for those of us that are not the best at drawing trees, this one is fantastic. The flowers are unbelievable, and it's like the previous book that I just showed, the one painting happiness. It's very free flowing. Not a lot of structure, not a lot of pre-drawing. I'm skipping a few. Look at those cherries. It resembles my cherry. I have a Coach pencil case. Looks very similar. That is gorgeous. There is one here that I attempted to copy. The animals are super cute. These little chicks, this is so fun because it's like, you see, it's a blob of watercolor, and then you just start adding little legs, peaks. Let me see if I find mine and I can share. So very, very simple. This one got messy. I think I did this in the park, at the park also. Look at that bunny. There's a fox, a unicorn. Then there's some fashion stuff in here. So a little bit of everything. So again, another favorite of mine. Move this to this side. And then I have the Birds, Bees, and Blossoms, a step-by-step guide to botanical and animal watercolor painting by Harriet De Winton. This book is gorgeous from the cover to the back. And the projects are unbelievable. So you have step by step. She's more into like symmetrical drawing. Sometimes I follow this thing, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just do freestyle. My hair is falling. I more or less follow, like there's a circular area here and another one here, and then I try to follow as close as possible, but I don't let this restrict me, especially I don't have a lot of time. I work full time. I have kids, family, and church. So and I really enjoy watercoloring. So when I get to it, I don't let any rules to stop me from enjoying it. But look at these projects, how unbelievably beautiful they are. I'm going to skip, just gonna flip through like this. Oh, there's a bee. I love bees. And I love these. This is very similar to the one from the Dana Fox book. Butterflies, more birds, butterflies. So again, a workbook in the sense that it's a step-by-step, but it does not have watercolor paper in it. You'll need your own pad to complete the projects. Now I left these two for last because they are from the same author, and in case you were looking for more information on this, you can just see them together. So this is Art for Joy's Sake by Christy Rice. These books are stunning, and the watercolor palette that she also I don't know if she made it. I don't know if she did. She probably picked the colors. Are really, really pretty as well. The projects here are very bright, but this author just, I just like the way she, I'm getting out of words again. She transmits what she wants you to learn from the book in a very good and easy way. It's for you to enjoy. I mean, I know that for some people, watercolor, acrylic, oil, art in general is a way of living, and you have projects and you have clients and you get paid for it, but it should always be enjoyable. It should always be something to be happy, like when you sit on your desk to paint, something to be happy about. And this is something that you can really feel from this author. She really enjoys this, and she is able to transmit it in her books. She collects vintage things, as you can see, and then she goes here through the techniques. This book in particular is a jewel. It's hard cover, and it's spiral on the inside, and the pages are super, super high quality. It's like flipping through a magazine with the beautiful art, the beautiful graphics. It's just perfection. Then she talks about the mobile studio, like if you like painting on site or outdoors, gives you different techniques. She's the one that got me into this type of brush. I should have some over here by her also. This is not your regular watercolor brush. My watercolor brushes are usually round brushes like this one, but I got this set by her that brings these, and it has another one in this shape, dagger. That's the name of the shape, the dagger. This one is part of it. I believe it brings 5 brushes. That's another brand. Let's see, quite sure, I think it's this one. Yeah, so it brings this 5. I don't remember, and it comes in a very nice fabric case. They're really, really, really high quality. So everything that I have bought that she promotes so far has been of exceptional quality. So here you can see, if you like doing florals, this is excellent for you to practice. There is no watercolor paper on this book, so this is for you to use it along your watercolor pads. But it is absolutely amazing for relaxation and enjoying a good afternoon just watercoloring. Beautiful, beautiful book. And then this one is a real workbook. It's actually a journal. It's Watercolor Discovery and Releasing Your Creative Spirit, Christy Rice, The Art of Joy's Sake Journal. This is candy for the eyes, and it even comes with a ribbon for you to track where you are. It's very bright, so if you're not into bright colors, this is not for you, but if you are like me, you will absolutely love it. She always encourages to use what you have, not to go crazy buying stuff out there. Just start with what you have, and then if you like it, then invest in other materials, in high quality materials. And that is something that I agree and disagree in part, because if you start with cheap materials, it might discourage you. There is a huge difference when you use cheap watercolors, specifically the paints, versus artist quality paint, and also watercolor paper. It should be high quality, otherwise you'll get frustrated and you might give up when it's something that you really would enjoy if you started off with the right tools. So take that with a grain of salt. Start with cheap just to test, and then take it from there. So quick reads to jumpstart your creative journey, as she recommends some books. Then this part, it's I painted this myself. This was a white page with just some prompts in here saying write down the top 10 things that scare you when making art. So I made my list here. I said no idea what to paint. Number 2, proportions. Number 3, I'm unable to draw. Number 4, what color palette to use. Number 5, I'm scared of the end result. Number 6, I'm afraid of giving up, of getting discouraged. Number 7, losing the desire to paint again, because like I said in my previous video, I started doing watercolor in 2020, and then I just stopped. I just lost the desire. I just put the paints to the side. I even donated some of the paints and sold others, but that was still like in the back of my mind, like I really miss this because it's really relaxing for me. So I did some painting here and there. I never fully gave up, but this time I don't want to give up. I want to continue this journey. I want to continue learning and practicing, and let's see where it takes me. So this is her suggestion for this page. Then I use my watercolor on this page. So it's a real workbook. In this one, I was encouraged to just paint something. Make the first step the easiest. It's a long prompt, but what I did here is I just did a blob of color and started adding stuff like the other book that I show you. I added some wings, some little legs, and I made some little birds there. So it has a lot. So this is her version, this is my version, and then each painting, it's on the double side, right? So if I wanted to do this in a different color, I could do that. I believe I did that on the first. Let me see. Yeah, so I did it here like this, and then I came to the next page and I used, I think I was testing 2 different brands, either Schminka and Holbein, and I used the 2 different palettes there. And then she also has, there's a banana bread recipe in here. It's a really fun book to look at. So this is the one I'm working on, and what's good about this is that you can leave it halfway through and come back later, like I just did here. I was I don't remember, maybe at the park with the kids or at the youth service in church outside, waiting for the kids to come out, and I just brought one of my small palettes. One of these water brushes are really good for when you're painting outside, and I just did some, and then I will continue on it. And I jumped to this one. And then there's a lot of pages with prompts for you to do free art. There you go. This is definitely one of my favorite acquisitions. All right, so I show you quite a few books. I do have more, and I plan to keep continue. Nice English there. I plan to continue uploading videos in a more regular basis this time. I really want to thank all of you that didn't leave the channel even though I wasn't uploading anything recently, and for those that have started to follow even though there's no new material. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. This channel is not I will put links of the things, but I am not affiliated with anything. I am not making any money out of any of this. I'm just sharing for the purpose of educating somebody that's looking for books like this, or that is interested in watercolor and wants to see through some of these books. This is for you. That's about it. So thank you again for watching, and stay safe, be well.